start to get really interesting, where it's make and break for a lot of these teams and players. So
for him, still not to any avail. A bit of a team pinch coming out. They finished that. Fake coming out of the kickoff. A bit of a passing play attempt. Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? What a finish that was. Let's get to the top of it. One moment ball is going to go for a bit of an aerial touch, maybe a double tap. And gets it!
Absolutely scintillating strike. Takes a 2-goal lead for his team. Once again, that is phenomenal.
I told you it was hype. I told you it was hype. £1,260 prize pool.
Right now, this right here is the pinnacle of RSC.
Welcome back, everybody, to the RSC Season 8. These are your Premier Grand Finals, the big ones, the ones that we've all been excited for ever since Premier was announced. £1,000 on the cards. One of these two teams will be walking away with a much heavier pocket than the other. Flamers battled their way through the lower bracket, taking down Vibin in a tense game number 5 that we just seen. Playing their spots in against LUNA ESPORTS, who'll be waiting in the grand finals ever since they knocked down Vibin, who were there just moments ago. So a lot of excitement here. I cannot wait to see this match going, because Flame took LUNA to a game number 5, and they looked a little bit cold earlier, and now they're hot. I'm expecting some fireworks.
Yeah, fireworks that are going to have to rise so much higher. This time around, having to do 2 best of 7s, it's going to be so much more difficult than that best of 5 that they ended up losing to LUNA ESPORTS in the first place. But from the way that they were looking in that lower final, I really wouldn't put it past them. We've come all this way, the ultimate finale, the grand finals of the Premier Playoffs. 6 playoffs gone, 9 weeks gone, hundreds and hundreds of games played of Rocket League, and it all comes down to this: the 2 best teams, arguably, in the entirety of the Rocket Soccer Confederation, now facing off against one another. LUNA are going to have to do it in at least 4, and Flame in at least 8. And I keep saying it, but truly, no idea which way this one is going to go. Because if this goes to a bracket reset, I cannot imagine what I'm going to say. What more is there to say? Flame have definitely earned it if they do.
There's no words at the end of the day. And talking about brackets, let's have a look at it now. Look at the journey that we've had throughout tonight on the 8 and B stream to lead up until here. Up on your screen, you can see the journey played out. LUNA ESPORTS are knocking down Flame in that round number 1. Flame having to take out Vulcan 3-2, took out Warlocks 3-2, took out Vibin 3-2. To find themselves right here on the other end of things. LUNA have been a bit more smooth sailing, so took down Flame 3-2, took Vibin 3-1, and sat here in the grand finals for quite a while now, waiting to take down Flame once again. I think what's more, or even more remarkable, is the fact that LUNA ESPORTS have only just brought on board Cynical and Torres to join CB in these grand finals, and I think that's, credit where credit's due. Torres and Cynical have been absolutely outstanding alongside CB for this LUNA roster, and this is going to be a battle for the ages. And I mentioned it once, and I mentioned it again. A lot of these players, a lot of these teams are ROCS prospects. They're playing at that level, and so this sort of win is only going to bolster them and keep them fighting forward. And we don't often do this, but I am going to ask a prediction. I want your prediction here. This is a big one. This is maybe the last prediction of the season. What is it going to be? Is it a bracket reset? Is it LUNA just getting the sweep? Is it Flame just getting all the way to the second best of 7 and throwing it away? What are we going to see here?
Well, it's always a risky idea throwing 2 new things into the machinery, 2 new players for LUNA ESPORTS, but it's worked out swimmingly. I think it's only taken like 9 games to get to this point. And because of that, I just wonder if Flame are going to actually get into that mix, if they're going to be a part of that and it actually work out for them. They've lost to them already. Whether they've thought about that, they've changed things up. It's been a long time since that match now, and a lot of things have changed. A lot of things have happened, but I feel like it's easy to say that this will go to Game 7 because that's the expectation. That's the thing that we're looking forward to, that we're wanting, and so that's sort of a cop-out way to say it. But I genuinely think this is the way it could go. Whichever team starts off hot, if one of the two teams get 2 games to start off with, if it's LUNA, they've got the better chance. Their percentage goes up to like 90-95% chance of taking it all. But if Flames start out a lot hotter than their opponents, then they could really, really run away with it. And getting into that bracket reset with a 4-0 sweep would be absolutely insane. And LUNA would have to really bounce back from that. And I just hope that it doesn't go that way. I hope that we get to see a momentous occasion, a matchup, a clash for the gods, as it were, as you said. One that we really want to see to go down as a classic, an instant classic. And I hope that's the way it goes. But to predict, I think LUNA eSport just about take it. They just about clinch
bracket
it. And
reset.
there is a little bit of bias here, I have to admit. It's an open secret that you like Flame, of course, Hot being so connected with Ignite Esports, and myself being a part of the LUNA Esports franchise. So it's kind of a battle of two worlds here. But I don't.
I mean, it's a good way to produce a non-biased desk.
Yeah,
you know what I
mean. We've got to keep each other in check. Yeah.
Exactly. But I mean, so you're going to go for LUNA. Is there going to be a bracket reset in there?
I don't believe so.
I think it goes
the distance. I think there's going to be 2 or 3 overtimes in there. I think there's going to be lots of goals scored, but that bracket reset just seems a little too difficult.
So you're predicting 4-3, no bracket reset in favor of LUNA. I'm predicting bracket reset, Flame take it in a 4-3 first best of 7 and 4-0 in the second.
Ooh, that is a bold prediction.
Going as we are underway in the Premier Tier Grand Finals. Flame versus LUNA Esports. £1,000 on the line. Who is going to take it all? And it looks like LUNA is going to start things off super hot. In 9 seconds, they have got the first one on the board in courtesy of one of those subs, Pinnacle.
That's just how quick they can get off the blocks. How quickly they can punish an opponent for a mistake. All it takes is 9 seconds. They'll be looking for a second in just as much time. But already so much speed is starting in this series. So much boost control. Going to the backball once again. An early double commit for Flame. They know how quick LUNA can be. How threatening they can be. This one, Cynical, free shot. It's going on tight. Creamy just about rotates in time to get back to that one. But it's still in the midfield. Edgeby has to clear this one out. Cynical going up to drop it down to Rexo. Torres is getting hunted on the back line. Creamy got really physical in that last series towards the end of it. He knew that was the way it worked, but I think LUNA might be just a little too quick on defense for that. Might be a little too wise to the play. This one to the backboard, easy clear for Flame. It's going to be on target, in fact, and Torres has to deal with it. But thankfully, they just about hold on to that lead. And now a minute in, you can clearly see these two teams chomping at the bit, wanting to get off to a very good start.
Both really hungry, but that is still a goal lead there in favour of LUNA Esports. Flame having to fight from behind really early on in this series. Torres trying to make something happen. Rexo puts it back towards Torres, who's just being such a nuisance in this corner. Gets a bump as well, but Rexo with a beautiful flick is now left with CB to challenge onto the ball. Actually comes away slightly favourable, but CB's recovery was much faster. A demo comes out on the back line, it's traded out, but the ball goes wide. A prime opportunity for that second goal to come in. And it didn't come to any fruition. Rexo tried to play it around Torres. Torres, though, winning that challenge there. Can be on the backboard. Doesn't get the touch he wants. Actually, LCB to put it out away. In the end, Rexo getting that clearance. Creamy trying to make something work. Looking for Edgeby. 0 boost to work with, so he's just going to let that float down. I think Cynical's looking for that challenge. Actually, Edgeby's going to come away with the ball. Ball going to the centre. Creamy's going to be there. Going to go up. You know what these side can do. Flame pancaking it off the backboard. That's when Flame are most dangerous. Looking for the redirect. He's got a cherry picker, but Creamy putting it down. Cynical denying that opportunity there for Flame.
The recycling offense, even when all hope seemed lost on that opportunity. Rexo puts it to the backboard and it causes absolute panic on the back line for LUNA. They've managed to weather the storm for a little bit longer, but Edgeby attempting to break them down. just about glances wide. We've seen so many times how vicious Flame can be when they get those mechanics, when they've got the boost. A nice touch here from Edgeby has forced Cynical into the backboard, but Torres reads it, clears it straight back across. Creamy looking for something for the midfield. Charlie sees that, but it's all down to Rexo here. Lots of time in the midfield. They're trusting each other's ability. It seems like there's quite a bit of respect between these two, Hop, and they don't want to throw any shade towards one another until they get comfortable, until they've got something like a 3 or 4-0 lead. That's just how much they're going to need. It's Creamy here looking for at least an equalizer as we pass the 2-minute mark. Torres going all on his own, gets a nice flick over. Rexo is there. Cynical was looking for the bump, couldn't quite find it. And you feel like a 2-goal lead, something that really settle Luna's nerves, get them comfortable here. As this one's popped straight back to the mid for Creamy to take a pop at, but not much there. Cynical kind of pops this down to Rexo, who has the passing option, attempts to go for kind of the middle in line there, a shot and a pass at the same time. Torres, a little bit of a heavy touch, but does beat out Creamy. Hasn't got much more than that. I think this just, it's got a little bit cagey, slowed down ever so slightly, Hop, as they try and find the cracks in the armor, but Charlie B not wanting to slow down, looking for that air dribble. Cynical is going to have to find this off the backboard, doesn't get the double tap. Torres has to slow down, and it allows Edgeby to go for the clear. Creamy, I think he had the reset there, but didn't have the space to use it. Rexo to the backboard. Edgely's going for the shot, but Cynical keeps it away. And going towards this final minute, Luna have really managed to hold on against a prolific Flame side.
Yeah, this prolific side really putting the pressure on. A demo attempt coming up, and Edgeby out of absolutely nothing, getting a stupid save. And Rexo's going to go back onto the attack. He has plenty of boost to work with. Place it over the last player, but Torres, again, anchoring as need be. CB getting that demo onto Cream. He's going to slow this offense down. 40 seconds and ticking right now. They've got to find a goal soon if they want to take it to an overtime. Rexo playing off the backboard. Torres, though, going to follow it up with a shot of his own. Actually decides to play it back towards Rexo. CB cutting out that passer. Torres just keeping it in the Flame half right now. However, not the best of balls. Is going to give Creamy some time. Pops it off his own card. Off the backboard it goes. Looking for a teammate. Creamy is there. But again, the angle is not found. It's covered out by Torres, whose defense has been clinical so far. Edgeby looking for the redirect. Plays it high instead. Torres, though, there. Missing the touch. Fortunately, Cynical there to clean it up for him. 10 seconds and counting. Luna have this 1-goal lead. Rexo trying to put it downfield. Puts it off the backboard. Torres knocking it up high. Creamy's going to be there, putting it forward again. But the clearance is going to come out from CB. A good touch from Edgeby isn't good enough, as Luna is going to take this first game of your Premier Grand Finals. Only 1-0, but God, it was nail-biting. It could have flipped at any moment with the pressure which Flame was putting on. But it did not come to anything. Luna hold off the onslaught, which is known as Flame, and take this first game.
And at least a small part of my initial prediction was wrong. I expected a lot more high scoring. Got to give it to game one, though, often being an anomaly where both sides still just trying to settle the nerves, trying to get into the mindset that they need to. Obviously, Luna a lot longer to sit there with their own thoughts, whilst Flame have been playing, waiting for their challenger from the lower bracket. But they've started off well here. All they needed was 1 goal. And it came from a great start, just 9 seconds in, and that's all they needed throughout the game. They had to defend for the rest of it. And whilst it can sometimes be the wrong decision to sit back, park the bus, as it were, and just defend, to do a lot of it against Flame there, and they had a few chances on offense, but happy to take that lead early on and continue on to that game. And now going into the second, probably looking to score even more just to secure it, because Flame are not going to slow down. Good kickoff allows them to get another chance here. Cynical not getting it through the corner. Rexo looking for that passing option. He gets it to Creamy. Torres has plenty of boost to keep this away, however. And Cynical clear through the midfield, straight down to Edgeby, expecting Creamy to be there. A little bit of miscommunication and positioning from Flame, seeing, but this one's dribbled across the net. That was dangling so perfectly for Edgeby to take a shot. It's just about taken away. And that's risky from Luna. You don't want to see that kind of defensive play.
That was very, very dangerous for Luna. In the end, it did pay off as the clearance was clean and effective at the end of the day. Edgeby trying to come out to something. However, the early goal hasn't come in for Luna this time, and Flame must be feeling a little bit better after that. Rexo is going to be dribbling it down the field, looking to make something happen. Fortunately, none of his teammates there to formulate a plan. Torres, though, putting it down the field. Good touch from Edgeby. He's going to play it around 1. CB, though, trying to get it away from the Flame onslaught. A good touch, though, from Rexo is going to set up Edgeby. But Edgeby couldn't get the power and accuracy behind it. Going to mute that offense very quickly. But a good passing play to Rexo. Edgeby's going to follow it up again.
Torres backwards.
Torres in the goal. And Creamy's just going to brute force his way in to that ball and find the back of the net. A good finish. Torres just could not amount to anything. And two players off the side of Luna try to keep that out. But Creamy just coming in like an Exocet missile to slot that one home. And this time it's Flame with the lead. You haven't seen too much coming out from the Luna Esports side this time. But you wouldn't be surprised to see them bounce back and get one of their own. 3.5 minutes left on the clock, Vector.
It's a violent finish from Flame. Happy to take that lead. As Torres pops this across the wreck, so time is something that's ever ebbing away all the time. They got to think about Charlie be looking for that flip reset, doesn't manage to acquire it. And that was Creamy to take it across to the midfield, but Cynical and Torres looking to link up. Rexo misses the ball, does get it on the flip, keeps away the shot opportunity, but Rexo misses off the backboard, and Charlie somehow read it. Not quite. I don't think he was expected to read it, to be honest. Not quite as well as he wanted. He's low on boost, but he's managed to take it to the backboard. Cynical's going to miss this one, and Edgeby had already pushed up the field. Rexo, great passing plays opened up. It takes a double commit, but it's stopped on the line. Keep this this game close. Charlie B through the midfield, taking that boost. It's a little slow to the play, however, and Edgeby takes this into the air, gets a reset, I believe, from that, but just 50s with Cynical. And Charlie B trying to create something all on his own, straight down to Rexo, allows Edgeby to go through the corner. And it's just a midfield battle at the moment, it feels like. Neither side spending all that much time in the corner, but this one spends a bit of an extended period, allows them to go for a couple shots, Luna, but nothing found. Torres to the backboard. Charlie B bumps out one, demos another. It's passed down to Cynical, just has to take a shot. Rexo is there, however, gets back in time to keep this 1-goal lead intact. And we've seen it before from teams, especially Vibin, more so than Luna, where they just create so much offense. They've got so much pressure. They spend so much time in front of the net that they just can't finish. They cannot find a way through. With it just being a 1-goal game, that's exactly what Luna are looking for. All they need is one.
All they need is one. Beautiful phrase indeed, and that is going to be ringing in the back of the mind of the Luna Esports players, as well as Flame thinking all they need is one. All they need is to keep that time ticking down. Rexo is doing exactly that, putting the pressure on, looking for his second. Didn't find the opportunity. A great passing play between Creamy and Edgeby is going to put it back towards the backboard. Cynical was there on rotation. Rexo trying to find the angle, couldn't get the touch needed. Torres, though, with zero boost, going to come off the sidewall there. Just put it down the field. CB, they're waiting, looking. Oh, that cherry picker redirect. But couldn't find it, unfortunately. But it is Luna Esports on the offense. But a beautiful clearance coming out from Creamy. It's going to shut that down. 50-50 win off of Torres. Almost end up in a dangerous scenario. CB's going to come away with the ball, tried to flick it over to, couldn't find the angle, but does find a demo instead. Pass forward for CB. Charlie! Redirect, and oh my word! What on earth was that from Charlie B? The maestro's been on this roster for so long, and actually pre-flips that to get that angle. What a finish that was. There was minutiae margin there to get that ball in. Rexo and HB were there having the angles covered, and somehow the gap was found.
I was amazed there was any sort of gap. That space is not what you expect to see from Flames defense, as they almost find a little bit of space here for the second. Not quite managed to find it, but they got that one they were looking for, and now it's just about holding on for that OT. But Charlie B doesn't want to wait for that. He's hunting these players down. He's getting violent. Feels that's what's necessary. As Torres, nice one to the backboard, but Cynical wasn't expecting it, and all he can do is drop it down for the red clear. Rexo is there, but so is Charlie B. Has an open net to shoot at. Doesn't have the pace. Unfortunately, cannot get back to that ball. And another chance wasted for them. Edgeby beats out the second man. Torres just about gets in time to keep this this game equal with 20 seconds left. It's in the wrong half of the field for LUNA ESPORts. Torres has to do it again, but Edgeby is there. Somehow gets the third save in quick succession, keeping their hopes alive. But Edgeby is there for the shot. It's off the crossbar. It's bouncing out. It's off the post. Somehow Flame do not finish that one off, and with 2 seconds left to go, they link up again, and Rexo is there one more time, and we find ourselves in an OT in the second game of the grand final. How did they not score there?
How is this game not over yet? How are we in overtime? The defense just holding fast from LUNA Esports, denying Flame the W so far.
Rexo, though, now has to regain momentum and try and force a counter-attack here, but it does fall in the path of Cynical. He's going to pop it off to the side. A bit of a double commit. Charlie B is there. Puts it over one. Looking for the double touch. Can he find it? Yes, he can. No, he can't. As the defense from Flame is there. CB puts it down for Cynical. Puts the shot on a good block coming out from Creamy. Rexo, though, tried to cut that pass out. CB a little bit far behind. Has got a little bit of time on the ball. Reads the touch from Edge B. Oh, the Rexo with that clearance. Zero boost for Creamy to work with. Looks at the pass back. A really good one indeed, but it's cut out early by Cynical, and the overcommit from Flame is going to come back and punish them. They were so, aware of pushing forward. Edgeby actually getting bumped by Torres, so he couldn't land safely, and CB's going to get that goal there. Courtesy of Cynical and Flame's overzealous offense. And after all of that, Flame not able to put the goal in to close it out in regulation. LUNA have come out on top in overtime. They must be soaring right now, this LUNA roster.
I adored the way that they played in that OT, though. They opened up so much space, and they always looked comfortable when they were going around the field. There was almost no one on the back line for Flame. They were throwing everything at the offense to try and create something. LUNA just recognized that instantly, straight through the mid, a simple bump, and it's an open net, but Charlie B stood up for this team so much. As you said, been on this roster for so long, and really leading from the front, showing Torres and Cynical how it's done. Of course, we have to give it to them as well. Torres with 6 saves. 3 of those came in at like 5 or 6 seconds at once. Unbelievable defense that was needed against Flame. So many shots against them. But all it took was a couple clinical finishes for LUNA, and they find themselves back in this series 1-1. Not 1-1. They've 2-0. I completely forgot. I thought Flame won the first one. I thought it was bouncing back.
It's just been obscene. It's been daylight robbery from LUNA. They score in the first game in 9 seconds, and then no other goals throughout the whole rest of that game. In this second game, they just completely deny Flame at the end and steal a goal away in overtime. It has been LUNA committing daylight robbery, and it's completely paying off from them. Flame, they've got to start recuperating. They've got to start capitalizing on those opportunities. They're finding them. They're finding so many chances. They're just not putting them into the back of the net. And right now, it's really starting to punish them. And I bet you it's starting to hurt.
Finding opportunities is one thing, creating them is another, and finishing them is an entirely different ball game. Charlie being Cynical looking to finish one here, but it takes so much time. He's waiting. He's done that quite a bit towards the end of the last game, and now at the start of this one, Creamy's going to try and finish this one, but Cynical avoids the bump, keeps it away. Charlie B and Torres overcommit a little bit there. I think he's trying to do too much now, trying to rush things. Got a little bit too confident maybe, but Cynical trying to keep this away from the encroaching Edgeby. And another double commit on defense allows Creamy to go for a shot. Opts for the pass. Edgeby and Rexo are both there. Torres just about gets back in time. And as you said, opportunities need to be finished for Flame, especially when they come from such blatant mistakes as we saw from LUNA there. Desperation setting in, it seemed like. Once you get to a 2-game lead in a series, perhaps you get a little bit too desperate, but CP somehow knows where that shot is going. He could have placed that wherever he wanted, but somehow he's in the right position.
It's crazy how CB was able to make that save, but what's sort of crazy to me is the fact that Flame have yet to score. They have been putting so much pressure on, and it's been the narrative of this whole grand final so far. CB has found an opportunity. There with the rotation, a good pass into the centre. Torres with a shot, but Creamy with the challenge. And now we see Flame storming down the field. Pass in the centre from Creamy does happen, but Rexo just not willing to challenge. And there, I think, lies the rub, Vector. This Flame side seem to be playing a little bit pensive. They're a little bit hesitant on the decisions they're making. And with this playstyle, they cannot have that. But a double commit on that save is going to open the goal wide open for Torres to put the first goal in of this game, number 3. You see Edgeby and Rexo committing to that. And Torres like, thank you very much. I'll be taking that. And that is a goal with 3 minutes left on the clock. It is just all to play for right now.
So it's about hesitation. Absolutely none of that on LUNA. Quick as you like. Always there, always ready. Torres here looking for the second, just about stopped on the line. Charlie B trying to go for these demos, get physical, frustrate Flame, make that that fire wobble a little bit. It's Torres and CB trying to creep the offense alive. Cynical back to the midfield. Charlie has a little bit of boost to work with, but not enough to find the touch to get a shot onto that one. Torres straight back to Rexo. A pass through midfield allows Edgebeat to take this off the backboard. Charlie B is there, but he misses. Rexo with a shot. It's going to drop into the left side of the goal. And an equaliser for Flame. Only managed to find 2 goals throughout this series so far. But this is one of the better ones. And Cynical just not ready for that. I think he was expecting a high ball, or at least their initial shot, rather than a pass. And so they find themselves equal here. Not used to conceding that many goals, Luna, it seems like. And they're just having to hold on. Another mistake from Charlie B allows Edgebeam to come in for the finish, finding the second goal. And these really need to be cut out right now, or they're going to find themselves in a horrible situation.
They are going to find themselves in such a tough scenario. These sort of errors cannot be happening, and it's given Flame a way back into this game completely. Luna, they've got to start touching up. They've got to see the full side of the moon right now. Darkness is encroaching. Flame not sharing the light that they're bearing down on their own gameplay right now. Edgebeat putting that pressure on, and I love the way when Flame do this. They send someone just to linger in the opponent's half, and with the mechanics and the speed they have, they can really capitalize on it. But Luna are falling prey right now to their own overzealousness. A bit of a double commit there. Does fall still into the path of Torres, but he has 0 boost to work with, and I think this is becoming a bit of a running theme here. The boost control and management from Flame is insane, but Edgebeat's shot was better, but even better than that was Torres' defense. Unbelievable to keep that out. It is still a 1-goal game in favor of the Flame side with that 1-goal lead. They've got, but Luna have got to find a way back in if they want to close this series out. Now, a great cherry picker right there. Amy with a fantastic read to keep that away from the second man following it up. Beside Cynical is there to keep it going. Edgebeat takes the ball away. Torres trying to find that challenge, but Edgebeat has been left with the ball. Cynical's going to have to go flying down the field. He just dived it off the side. Off the backboard it goes. Cynical is there to make the save again. Oh my word. It feels like it should be a 4-1 game, but at the same time it feels like it should be 0-0.
They're somehow keeping out these chances. I'm not sure if that one was going to go in, but Torres kept it away just to be sure. Charlie B through the corner, a demo on Torres. Cynical has to clear this out, but he's just passed it straight to Rexo. Going to be crossbar, going to be creamy there, but Charlie B keeps that one out. Keeps Luna's hopes alive of finding a third game, finding that match point. He's bumped out here, Rexo, not able to find the angle. Yeah, they just need to calm down a little bit, keep their heads, Luna. They're in an awful situation, and it's been made so much worse by Creamy here. Rexo does well to keep the play alive, but Creamy comes up and then down. The double tap off the backboard. No one is there to finish it. And a 3-1 lead for Flame, the biggest we've seen in this series so far. Trying to keep that match point away from LUNA Esports. And they're just starting to get outpaced, it seems sometimes, but the mistakes are crucial for LUNA Esports to cut out, because they're going to get punished for them. There's no doubt about it.
Indeed, it does seem to be a trend that Flame win games when they are scoring lots of goals. If it's a small goal margin, then it definitely doesn't fall into the path of Flame often. But brilliant performance so far from them in this game. Definitely a way to bounce back after a hot start from the Luna side. But I wonder whether your prediction of whoever comes out on top in these first 2 games is going to be the eventual winner. And if that goes by the reckoning, Flame, they've got one mountain to climb, and in that mountain is your prediction as well. They've got to overcome that. I'm curious to see whether they can do it. Flame, they had that's a pop-off series. You know, I think we can almost define that as a pop-off series.
Statement series.
Statement series, exactly. They have definitely anchored themselves, saying we deserve to be here. Luna aren't going to run over us. We want to win. But Luna, I bet you they have so many tricks in their book. We saw it when these guys matched up previously. They like to adapt. They can adapt, and they have the ability to adapt on the fly during the matchups. And I would not be surprised if the coach behind Luna right now is saying, okay, that didn't work out. Let's implement strategy 2 and go forward.
And there is a potential that they're sort of baiting their opponent. They play a certain way, and they expose their weaknesses on purpose to make them become into a false insecurity. I don't know if that is the situation. That may be a little too risky to implement something like that, but I would not be surprised. I wouldn't put it past a team of this level to do something like that, to make them think, oh, we're playing a certain way. It's sort of like a bull and I forgot what the name is, but you know, when you put a red cape out in front of it and you're baiting it in, trying to frustrate it and get it angry. You draw it in and then you pull the wool over its eyes, so to speak, and that's just to confuse your opponent, force them into a certain play style, and then they can't get out of it.
Are you saying Luna let Flame win that game?
I don't think they let them win it necessarily.
All the red rug out from their face in this one. Like,
I wouldn't go that far.
That's a bold statement.
It's not my statement. I was saying that they could have changed the way that they played in order to make them think this is how we're going to play the rest of the series. I don't think they intentionally lost the game. That makes no sense at all to let your opponent do that. But as I've said before, that if a team gets too comfortable with the way they're playing, if they get too predictable, then they're easier to counter. If Flame were trying to adjust things after losing 2 games on the bounce, that means that Luna would need to recognize that. And if they changed it up, got too aggressive, got too reckless, made it look like they were overconfident just to be deceptive with that, then that might be the way forward for them. Either that or Flame are just playing better. We'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, I did make the prediction. I thought it was going to go the distance, and that if Luna took the first 2 games, they were very, very likely to take the whole series, and this one's the way to start it out. Another passing play between LUNA Esports, Charlie B to finish it off, just straight across the field. A great pass from Torres allows Charlie B already up the field to finish that off, the easiest cherry picker of his life, and they once again take a lead.
That pass was absolutely incredible coming out from Torres.
Outrageous.
I mean, yeah, outrageous. Would you say scintillating? I mean, not quite scintillating just yet, but still a beautiful pass nonetheless. And CB looking to make it a second, almost sets up his teammate Cynical. Fortune was cut out early though. Cynical does get a demo on his way back onto Edgeby. He's going to slow things down. Edgeby spawns up and gets demoed once again. Rexo's going to put it downfield looking for Creamy, who gets the touch. Rexo is up but couldn't get up enough to get the shot off. Going to slow that down. There's a dangerous moment for Luna. They have got this goal lead. We saw it happen previously. Luna able to hold fast and park the bus very effectively. They did it for a whole 4 minutes and 51 seconds previously. See if they can do it again here. Edgeby getting a demo onto Torres. Cynical playing it around Rexo. Right there in his own corner though. 0 boost to work with. Creamy though winning a beautiful 50-50. Torres has to get this touch away, and it's a good effective clearance indeed. Edgeby rotates back. Tried to look for the pass onto Rexo. The ball bounces awkwardly off the ceiling, but it's read very well. Torres on the backboard, gets a nice catch there. Plays it around Edgeby really well. Gets a second touch as well. Going to try and grab that boost. Has nothing to work with here. Just making time for his teammates to push forward. And Torres has done this all series long. Just opens up so much space. But Edgeby blocking the shot for his teammate, unfortunately. I think CB was there. However, it was looking dangerous. Rexo though with the ball. Plays it over one. Torres gets a nice touch. Edgeby's going to be there once again. Puts it in towards the centre, looking for his teammate. Creamy is there, but puts it into the corner. Rexo following up with a shot of his own. However, the defense just so good, and the rotation just so clean from this Luna side.
Saying that, they have been getting in each other's way a couple times. CB and Torres were on the backboard there. Cynical looking for the sweet cherry picker, does not manage to find it. No LUNA Esports defense has been effective. Torres, oh no! What an air dribble!
What was that?
I may need to pinch myself hot because that was a dream of a finish. Takes it all the way over the defense like they weren't even there, and gives Luna a 2-goal lead, something they've been looking for this entire series.
That was
inspired.
Ridiculous. CB somehow getting his car underneath the ball to lift it, cradle it, caress it over the defense of Flame, leading to that second goal. Unbelievable scenes. And Torres is looking for a second but couldn't find it, unfortunately. And now Flame have an even harder task ahead of them. 2 goals down, 1 minute and 30 on the clock. Edgeby looking to put a start to their goal run, but haven't found it just yet. Pinnacle with the ball, going to try and pop it up over Rexo, but Rexo getting the touches needed. CB with a nice challenge there. However, it's going to be slowed down in the bump. CB just being such a nuisance. Demo though onto Torres from Cream. He's going to slow this counter-attack down. However, Cynical is saying absolutely not. I'm flying forward. Right now, Torres comes off spawn. Gets a nice touch. Gets a nice 50, allowing CB with a little bit of space to work with here. However, doesn't come to anything. Kumi going forward, puts it down for Rexo. Rexo looking for the pass onto Edgeby, and
What a set of play coming out from Flame. This is what they've been known to do so often. Beautiful catch coming out from Rexo. A beautiful pass, and Edgeby, the 1-2 buckaroo into the back of the net. As you said earlier, absolutely bombastic.
And it was a relatively simple finish, to be honest. They didn't have to do too much. Just an infield pass, but they throw everyone at it. They take the risk, and they manage to get the reward. Still needing one more, though, with a minute left to go. And LUNA Esports have looked the better. Creamy pancakes this on his backboard. CB was there, and so is Torres. It's going to have to come down to Cynical, who takes a shot, but Rexo cuts it out. Keeps this one closer than it could have been. As Torres pushes it straight back into that corner. Edgeby takes the boost and then takes the ball over the first man. Rexo attempting to beat Charlie, but he's been so disruptive on the back line. He's doing it in the midfield too, and now looking to pump out Creamy to keep this pass option away. Watches that pass as well. Great interception. But he's still going to have to deal with the aftermath as Creamy misses wide. This one to the backboard. Edgeby is there. There was no one up for LUNA to clear that one out. Thankfully, Cynical got back to it. Creamy takes another shot. Torres is there as well. We've been in this situation before, Hawk, where Flame needed a last-ditch effort, a final goal to take us to overtime. It's probably not going to happen this time as Torres keeps it away, takes it to the backboard. Edgeby does keep it alive as Rexo keeps it up again as well. A double commit here. Creamy keeps it up one more time. Edgeby has to beat Torres, but it's going to drop down for LUNA Esports to take their third game and to match point in this first best of 7, possibly another one on the horizon. But Flame fighting from below. They've taken one game in this series, but it's going to be so damn hard to take 2 more.
Holy, what was that? This is coming down to the wire every single time. LUNA adapting after Flame running away with game number 3 there. And they found themselves with a lead 3-1 match point. They are on the edge of being the first ever RSC Premier champions and finding themselves on the edge of being £1,000 richer as well. I'm sure they'll be very, very happy with that. But Flame, looking at themselves, it's not like a lack of trying here, you know?
Absolutely
it's not like they're doing, exactly what we know Flame can do. It seems that they just got to have a little bit more of this clinical execution. They aren't finding the net when they are having opportunities. Yet on the other side of things, LUNA is. But we are in to game number 5 of this best of 7. Is it going to be LUNA, or is Edgeby and Flame going to take it even further? As it is Edgeby, the first player to get a goal here. 6 seconds is all that was needed, and it looks like Flame have just woken up again. It is back and forth. Every game is different right now. We haven't had a repeat at all. Vector, sometimes in series you have a game that's going to be the same. The same thing happens over and over again. None of them are the same.
I mean, we have seen a couple 2-1s, but the way we've gotten there has tended to be quite different. And it's always been close. It's always been nail-biting. A chance to go to OT. Rexo looking for the second quick goal. Flame have had the quickest 4 seconds in as opposed to LUNA's 9 seconds in the first game. So they can take a little bit of pride in that, but wanting a lot more here, having to win 3 games on the bounce just to earn a bracket reset, have to do it all over again against LUNA. Have kept them pinned down so much in this series, annoyed them so much, you feel, especially from Charlie B here, picking up the balls a little quick through the corner. Forces Cynical to make a play he wasn't ready for. Edgeby trying to get back to this ball off the aerial. It was a little too far forward for him to grasp. Creamy has to rush to keep this out of the midfield. Torres with a shot. Rexo is there. Just glances at the post. Cynical with a shot as well. Had to place it past 3 defenders. Ends up slamming it straight into the first one. And Flame on the front foot here. I think you can kind of tell that LUNA have realised they've got a chance here, but the onus is on them. The chance to lose as well. A lot of pressure to be in this position. Or just one more game, maybe 1 or 2 more goals is all it's going to take. It's all it took for a couple of games they had. Nice down in the midfield. Allows Charlie B to go forward for this one. Edgeby has to be there somehow. Puts it to the crossbar. Cynical puts it down to Torres. Wasn't expecting it. But Charlie B off the back ball, going for the double tap, and it's in the back of the net. He finds the equaliser. Beautiful finish for LUNA Esports. Oh my goodness.
My word. CB. Charlie B. Charlie Bombastic, more like. What a finish it was. He set it out from the get-go, put it off the backboard, and he's going to slot it in. It's 1 goal piece right now, and it's 3 minutes on the clock. 3 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock, and it can go either which way. These two teams have been finding their stride throughout these playoffs, and it's really culminating in this pinnacle performance from both of them. A good touch there off the backboard. Edgeby's looking for the pass. Creamy. Creamy's going to shoot, and Creamy is going to answer back. CB, yet nice one, but Creamy's a bit more creamier with that shot. Beautiful setup from Edgeby, a beautiful passer, and Creamy slotting it in. It goes back in favour of Flame. 2-1 lead. Just under 3 minutes to go right now. Still anyone's game, but this is a much more comfortable place for Flame to be in.
It just came from another standard double commit from Luna. You've seen it haunt them before. CB off the crossbar. Torres is there, but it's somehow saved by Edgeby. Pushes it to the crossbar, and Rexo back up the field for the counter. Cannot find the 2-goal cushion. Edgeby looking for it himself, but it will be denied, and CB looking for the cherry picker across the field. Too slow. Rexo deals with it. Creamy off the wall, looking for a quick counter once again. They don't want to give LUNA ESPORTS any time to rotate, to breathe, to think, as this one stopped on the line once again. LUNA just a little slow. Flame are really starting to heat up once again. Another one at the crossbar, bounce it down. It's going to be Creamy to finish it off for the 2-goal lead. They were looking for it so much throughout this game. Great control from Edgeby. He slowed that down so much. It throws your opponent off. They do not expect it, and it allows your teammates time to figure out where they need to be, when they need to read the ball. And it's led to a very good cushion for Flame to hold on to. LUNA ESPORTS are desperate right now.
That is just ridiculous. The Flame finding the opening and find themselves way back into this series. A 3-1 lead right now. Rexo trying to apply that pressure back on. Torres is going to find himself with the ball, puts it forward. Cynical is there, puts the shot just wide and high and straight into Edgeby's car, who's waiting patiently on that backboard. Ball now playing that down the field. Torres there waiting. Creamy wins the touch and battle in the midfield. And have to force Cynical to make a touch off his own backboard, which he does so. That's demoed for his efforts. Torres, though, there to replace him. Does get a touch awkward, though, for him and the opponents. In the end, Creamy comes away with the ball. The shot is going to be on target. CB, though, covering nicely. Good flick from him. And a good second touch as well. Oh, Rexo with a bit of an awkward placement there. Torres plays it off the backboard. Luna, though, no luck in this turn. CB's flying in, tried to make something happen. Edgeby, though, a little bit too quick to the ball and a little bit quick in the air as well, as he's opened up some space for Flame to push forward and out here. Edgeby looking for the pass into centre, isn't found. CB there, puts it for Torres. Torres with the shot, but blocked out by Creamy at the last second. Cynical putting the pressure on once again, but it is again Flame finding the counter-attack opportunities. There seems to be counter-attack after counter-attack right now, but with a minute left on the clock, 2-goal deficit is Torres in the favour of Luna, but that shot from Torres just going a little bit wide. Could that be the opportunity to get back into this game? Cynical in the backboard, off his own side, looking for the pass over to Torres. Torres with the shot. It's powerful. It's off the backboard. Looking for his teammate. CB is going to be CB. Charlie Bonanza. Charlie Bonanza. Charlie Bombastic is going to put that one in. CB going to make it within an arm's reach of tying up this series right now. Oh my word, Vector. I cannot even comprehend what we're seeing.
If Torres got that double tap, I genuinely think I would have lost my mind. Got all of that ball, absolutely cracked it with the Dominus. And Charlie B comes in to finish it off, clean it up, help out his teammate, but they need one more. There's the 30-second mark, looms over them. Cynical's going to have to find the redirect. Edgeby read it just about. I didn't even read that. I thought that was a nailed-on pass. As Torres looks for one of his own, Charlie B just hunts down the second man, and the second is demoed as well. Cynical puts it to the backboard. Charlie B has to finish that one off, but Creamy stops it in its tracks. Holding on, 10 seconds left. He's going to waste all the time that he possibly can, but Cynical has to rush Charlie B to the backboard. Edgeby misses the ball, and he's got nowhere to touch this ball to. Torres is slow. Charlie B has to get himself into the ball. Torres cannot get back to it, and Flame somehow crawl back into this series and clutch up this one without needing an overtime. Luna really, really could have ruined their dreams there, but oh my goodness, somehow they hold on. We've seen that from Luna themselves when Flame put so much pressure on them, put the heat under their feet, but somehow they managed to hold on this time, and not quite a game 7 hop. We need to calm down. We're only in game 6.
Yeah, I know. It's just, I'm sure everybody can feel this. The energy between these two teams is absolutely palpable.
What's going on here is a game of margins, a game of absolute centimeters, a game of micrometers. Each minutiae decision playing a catastrophic impact into how this game is playing out. It is 3-2. Yes, LUNA eSports still on match point right now. Flame, though, coming in here, and they have shown one hell of a fight to be here indeed. We've got a game to win to send it to a game 7. LUNA could close it out here and now. They are still one game away of beating those Premier Season 8 champions. A lot still to play for, but what a series we have got so far. So much hype. Can we see some PogChamps and hype in the chat, guys? Because, we've got this incredible hype, and we've still got more hype after the games have finished as well.
It just keeps going, Hop. It just keeps rising. The levels of hype, of excitement. Torres and Cynical trying to make it even more exciting with a pass across the field. He just about managed to cut out a pass of Flame's own. Charlie B hunting this one down, but Creamy is back to keep that away and then keeps control. I don't think he got the reset there, but it was enough to keep Cynical away. Charlie B missing that ball. May have faked it out as he gets back to this one very quickly. Edgeby is a little slow to roll. Creamy through the midfield, gets a decent 50. Doesn't have any boost to work with though, and allows Torres to go for the touch, but Edgeby reads it. Great communication there. Charlie B pops it up. And no one was back for Flame, thankfully for them. Creamy was able to get that one and gets a beautiful pinch back up the field. And neither side wanted to make that first error, make that mistake. A great pass down, allows Torres to shoot, but it's off the crossbar. Oh my goodness. That would have been insane, Hop. I can't believe they didn't finish it. They're still on offense, but every single one of those chances that's missed, you think back to that. Those are the moments where you think, if we'd have had that, we could have done it. And that could be the difference for Flame here.
This could be the turning point. Torres not able to find that cherry picker, but he does find the ball gifted to him off the backboard. Flame left a little bit stunned and shell-shocked after what had just happened. Creamy not predicting the bounce well enough, and Torres just handed the gift. Oh my word. I think not only do we need to calm down and gather our, our heart rate back to a good resting level, but these players do as well. A rare mistake happening there. Demo's coming off the kickoff, 1-0 in favour of LUNA. They're ever so close to closing out this series and being named champions. But can they hold on? 3.5 minutes is a long time. But Torres is going to be there to put another one in. Mistakes now coming out of the woodwork for this Flame roster. Torres able to get that free shot, and Edgeby just choking, whiffing, whatever you want to call it. There's no other way to say it. You missed the ball, and Torres is going to punish you for it with a free goal. 2-0 up. They were behind 2 goals in the previous game. Were not able to bring it back. Can they do something different? Can they do something magical? Can they do something scintillating here to get back into this game?
Torres must be thanking his lucky stars. He's been blessed with 2 easy finishes. One of the simplest braces he's ever found is Charlie B looking for that third. Looking for that pretty much nail in the coffin. We have not seen many goals in this series in individual games. I don't know if we've ever seen... We haven't... Well, it's gone highest as 3 has gone, and no team has been able to get back to that. We haven't seen a 3-3. Haven't seen that overtime yet. It could happen in this one, but Flame really need to step it up right now because LUNA are running away with it. Cynical tries to get this to the corner. Edgeby just kind of throws away possession. Allows Charlie B to go for it, but someone gets back to it. It's dropping down. Creamy's going to be there, and he's going to put it in! Somehow reads this! It was not the cleanest finish in the world, but he finds the target. It does not matter. He is hunted down. Oh, that's a brilliant finish.
Unbelievable finish indeed. Creamy finding the angle, finding the touch, finding the dunk. In the end, he's going to be dunking his biscuits into a nice warm cup of gold right there. He puts a pointer into the back of the net. Rexo trying to make something happen here. Does open up a little bit of space, but is covered and smolted by his teammates, by the opposition even, by LUNA. DB now trying to find an opportunity. Push it forward. Rexo finds the pass to Edgeby instead.
Oh, so clever.
Edgeby with the goal, and just like that, this Flame side are right back into this game. Edgeby finds a beautiful flick as well. Torres is caught in no man's land. CB did get a minutiae of a touch there, but HB has put Flame back into the running. It's 2 minutes, 8 seconds left on the clock. It is anyone's game to take right now. Torres missing the cheat on the kickoff. It's going to create me lots of space to work with. You see HB going for the Rexo, going for the bump. DB though, super smartly just taking his time on that save. He gets a demo of his own onto HB. Torres winning that 50. Creamy not with the best of touches. Should have set somebody up from LUNA Esports. The shot there, but nobody able to follow it up. Ball comes flying forward for Edgy. Edgy puts it back into the center, looking for his teammate. Cannot find it. Bit of a commit from Cynical, who wasn't able to get the touch away. Fortunately, Torres in that backline. A bit of a double commit, though, does come out. Not too dangerous, though, for the side of Flame, as LUNA weren't ready for the counter-attack. Caught in awkward positions, each one of them. TB now pops it up high, plays it under one. A good, smart job from him. I think Cynical was looking for the pass up the field as he was waiting there. Torres puts it straight back into the midfield where HB's waiting. He's going to put it right back to Rexo. Rexo with the shot, and Flame are now 3-2 up from being 2-0 down. They are 1 goal up at 3-2. Vector, I mean, what?
They've reverse swept. If it was a best of 5 situation in a single game, we're going to going 2-0 up. I thought, oh, that's pretty much it. You've made too many mistakes, Flame. You've kind of built your own coffin, snuffed out your own fire. But somehow they've brought it back. 3 goals on the trot with no response. This one forcing HB to go for the clear. It's all the way downfield. The Cynical has to deal with Rexo and the pace of that ball. Another one from Creamy is bouncing down. A double commit from LUNA will not be punished as Charlie B does well to keep this under his spell, but loses it on the second time of asking. Cynical once again losing the ball as well. Creamy trying to get it down to HB, who's low on boost. Charlie has to get that ball, somehow ends up faking it. Rexo didn't read it, then gets demoed for the trouble. Torres taking control of this ball. I think maybe looking for a musty flick there, but not enough space, not enough time, and Cynical is forced to control it through his corner. Does well to beat the first man. Gets a 50 that's not entirely favourable, but it does work out for them. Torres has the passing option, opts to go for the shot instead. That could have been a better decision from him, but it has allowed Rexo to go for the counter. Cynical takes him out. On LUNA hunting for that equalizer they so desperately desire. With 15 seconds left, they've got to go all the way up the field. I don't think Flame can have a touch here, otherwise they've got no chance at all. They give the ball away, sends it straight back up. Cynical takes it to the midfield. Rexo is there, free clear. They double commit. Edgeby's already on the back ball looking for the cherry picker. He hits the ground and he finds it somehow. I thought that hit the ground at 0 seconds, but it does not matter as Flame find their 4th goal of this game, the first we've seen in this series, which really could be a turning point, Hop. The fact they've managed to do that against LUNA, it's been so difficult, and now pushing it to that game 7. We are on the pinnacle of something magical, Hop.
This is just obscene beans right here. Somehow, this Flame side are still running. Somehow they are still battling through against the adversity that LUNA has put them on. And they have found themselves in a game number 7 with a potential bracket reset on our hands. I mean, everybody's itching for the announcement. I'm itching to see what the outcome is, because this is such a good series. These two teams, you know, all of these players are wanting to break into that pro level, into that RLCS level. You know, they've been competing on sides, matching against and scrimming against the pro teams. But God, by golly, did we not expect, well, I think we all expected, actually, this team to these match up to be so close. What I did not expect to see the absolute amount of flair, intensity, and opportunities coming from both these sides, and with that, such ridiculous defense.
Not quite a reverse sweep, though. They won't get the privilege of that chance, Flame, but I'm sure they won't mind if they do manage to win this final game in potentially the first best of 7 of the grand final. It could all come down to this. It could all end here. That's exactly what LUNA Esports wants. They had a chance when they went 3-1 in the series to just end it all there, and they've been forced, dragged, kicking and screaming to this game 7, and the Flame look to burn them one more time. Attempt to get to that upper best of 7. I'll call it the upper best of 7. It's just the second one as Rexo through the corner has no teammate to speak of and will not find much on that offensive push, but Edgeby keeps it in the midfield. Charlie B already jumped for that, expecting the early shot. Somehow gets back to it. I don't know how. But a bit of clairvoyance going on there, but Torres flicks it past 2. He's not going to get back to the ball in time to find the angle, however. And a chance spurned there. Looked like a beautiful bit of dribbling, bit of mechanics, but doesn't get anything for it. Charlie B does well to get it past 2. Torres is going to get another chance, and Rexo's not going to be there. Bottom right corner, slots it in, and that was ridiculous from Torres.
I love the rolling R's. I cannot do them, but you can roll them every day, especially after a performance like that. Beautiful shot coming out from Torres, finding the back of the net, exactly what he needs to do. And now it is Luna with this lead. Creamy, though, trying to find an answer early. Nicely read by Charlie B himself. Pinnacle putting off the battle, finding CP. Oh my word, CP just got the defensive touch to put the clearance on. And from downtown, finds that shot. CB has come to play right here. He wants that #1. He wants that crown.
Even got a wow from Creamy there. I don't know if that was sarcastic, but either way, it's led to another 2-goal lead for Luna, but we have seen this before, Hop. They start off strong, and then Flame come roaring back, but this one's shot straight at the net. Cynical all the way from midfield. Has to be stopped by Rex, so they have to respect the chance. Charlie B sees Cynical there, but it's cut out instantaneously. That interception play from Flame has been pretty good. It might not be enough to see them towards that bracket reset. A nice pass across the midfield, just about taken away by Torres. He's been such a strong defender for his team this entire series, finding 6 saves in one of the games itself. But he's needed to make a few more here as we barrel towards the 2-minute mark in this game. Edgeby is forced to put this to the sidewall and goes up again himself. Creamy not expecting that. Lack of communication there has led to a quick clearance for Luna, and Charlie B looking for that unbelievable, almost a psycho looking play there. It would have just been a cherry picker, but that's the kind of threat that they can bring to bear. Just leave one person up the field, look for that shot. It can throw off the defense so much. Another great 50 allows Cynical to go for the shot, and it's a 3-goal lead for Luna with 3 minutes left to go. Lord. I don't think we've seen a 3-goal lead in this entire series, Hop, and that could just be the final one.
It could well be it. Luna have just said enough is enough. We have earned this winners bracket side. We want to close it out in one best of 7. You are not allowed any more game time. As the 3rd goal puts in, but we're just only now hitting the halfway marker. If Luna could score 3 goals in one half, you have to say that Flame can do it as well, but they've got to step it up now. They've got to do it soon, as they are right against the ropes right now. Pinnacle with a nice 50-50 of his own. A good pass, though, allows Edgeby with the shot, but not too dangerous, as Torres again being such a good defender for his side. A great flick over one. Leads over to Cynical.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my word. It's there for the shot, but it's Creamy. Somehow Creamy, who's made a ridiculous save after what could have been an outstanding goal
Torres.
of the playoffs, and Torres finds the flip reset. It does amount to nothing. Stupid plays happening right now. Creamy is rotating back. Cynical puts the knock ball forward. Creamy looking to get demoed by his teammates. A great carry by the ball, forcing Torres to jump. But again, Torres' defense holding so strong, not allowing Flame anywhere near the back of that net.
And it's so unfortunate to see that Flame haven't been able to produce the offense we've seen from them before. Oh no, it's open net. It's a 3-man triple commit. This is going to be the first goal for Flame. They're still in this series. We've seen Luna do it before where they get too confident. We saw it in the first couple games of this series, in fact, or the 3rd game of this series, in fact, where they just got a bit too overzealous, where they overcommitted just that too much. And Flame recognized it. They went back up the field and scored, and they've done it again here. And you feel like that save from Creamy, if they somehow managed to get themselves back into this game, that was the turning point. That was the moment they said to themselves, we deserve to be here. We deserve this bracket reset. And just as much as Luna think they have earned it, the other side does as well. It is a battle of 2 teams roaring at the bit to get this one. And I really hope it comes down to the wire. I want an overtime, Hop.
Oh, I really want an overtime indeed. This is an incredible series. Both these teams deserve the spots that they're in. A great touch from Edgeby, but it's a minute and counting. 2 goals in a minute. It's doable. It's one tough task for the side of Flame. They've had one mammoth run coming all the way through the lower bracket. Battling through a tough league as well. Only coming on board halfway through this league play. Find themselves in 4th spot.
But can they do it where it all matters in the grand finals? 35 seconds. CB with a nice clearance. Creamy's there. CB gets the block, and Cynical's gonna get the clearance. CB's already downfield, making it awkward. Rexo tried to get the touch away, and he does find Edgeby. Instead, it leaves it for Creamy. Gonna put it upfield, but Torres again being the man for LUNA to prevent anything from Flame going. As the time is ticking down now.
Ooh.
The demo comes out. 10 seconds left on the clock. Vector.
They have to score here.
That is all back. It's all but done. The time is ticking down. Flame, they have no more time left. It is a 2-goal deficit. LUNA Esports is your king, your queen, your matador at the top of the mountain. And they are your premier champions of the RSC Season 8. They are £1,000 richer. And what a unbelievable series it was.
I hope you know that you are on my mind. Promise I'ma waste no time. Got down but now I climb. Said I wouldn't make it, feeling so lost. I feel caught up in the matrix. Have to keep waiting.